Hey Canucks fans, welcome to Clay's Canucks commentary for Monday, April the 15th. I'm Clay Emo, I'm at Canuck Clay on Twitter, I'm at Clayton Emo on Instagram. I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take. Huge sports weekend before I get to today's Vancouver Canucks letter grade for Jake Virtanen. Huge sports weekend. Tiger Woods winning the Masters. We had the U.S.-Finland controversial gold medal women's hockey championship game. We had NBA playoffs starting. And of course, we have the NHL playoffs rolling into Game 3 now. Pittsburgh and Tampa on the cusp of being eliminated. Crazy, crazy stuff. And I must admit that I'm having playoff FOMO. No, I didn't just swear at you. FOMO, for those of you who don't know, stands for fear of missing out. It's the jealousy or the envy or the feelings, the emotions we get when we see something that we want or that we want to have or be doing as well. And for me, that's Canucks playoff hockey. I know it's 4 years out, 4 years since we've had playoff hockey, and I see the excitement in Vegas and the arena and Louis' vlogs there. I see the Columbus fans getting so excited on the cusp. That's a big truck. On the cusp of winning their first ever playoff series, and I have serious playoff FOMO. But I'll get over that maybe as early as next year if the Vancouver Canucks exceed expectations once again and actually push into the playoffs. One player that they'll need to hopefully help them do that is forward Jake Virtanen. And I'm going to give him a letter grade right now. I'm going to give him a letter grade of C+. Yeah, it's my first non-A or non-B letter grade. I've only done this for a week. But C+, and C+ to me says average. And that's, I think, what Jake Virtanen was. He could have had a B or B- if he was a little more consistent. But he finished the season with 25 points in 70 games. Not bad. That's 15 goals and 10 assists. And that's an improvement over the previous season where he only had 20 points in 75 games. So his points per game went up. His stat categories went up, especially the one I looked at was ice time. In the 2017-2018 season, he only had 12 minutes of ice time, just under 12 minutes. This year, he got to about 14:49, so just under 15 minutes of ice time. So that shows that Travis Green was finding more ice time for him. That showed that he had more confidence in Virtanen, not only throughout the game, but especially late in the game. And those are all good signs. However, I would have loved Virtanen to be more consistent. There are times where we were talking about maybe he's going to get 20 goals but on the season. He ended up with 15. But you look at his progression, his game log, he only had one month, October, where he started off really well. He had a few goals right away, where he had 7 points in 14 games, so 0.5 points per game pace. But then every other month, he was more of a 0.3, 0.4 points per game kind of guy. And even, he did go through one spell in January where he went 11 straight games without a single point. Now, I get that Jake Virtanen's, the usage, what word am I looking for? Where he's allocated, where he's played, it's not always ideal, right? He's not on power play 1. He's on and off of power play 2. He doesn't kill penalties. So his ice time, 15 minutes or so, that sounds about right for a guy who doesn't get much power play time and no shorthanded time. I would love to see him used more in overtime, given his speed, which I'll talk about in a second. But overall, yeah, he's, if you're not on the power play a lot, you're not going to rack up a lot of points. So 25 points in 70 games isn't bad, just over 0.3 points per game. But I still think he can be much more consistent. That's the only reason why I'm not giving him a B or B-. And C+ is not a failing grade. It's by nature, it's average. And I think Jake Virtanen had an average season. Now, we all want him to do more. We see this tantalizing mix of speed and of size. And he also has a good shot. He's got good hands. And the one thing I've always talked about is, as much as I like him, he's one of my favorite players, is his hockey IQ. I'm not saying doesn't have a hockey IQ. Of course he does. He's in the NHL. But his decision making, let's put it this way, isn't as good as it can be. And whether that's simply driving wide instead of driving to the net, or making smarter plays in the offensive zone, I think those are all things that he can work on. And now he's entering his fourth full season, right? He played 55 games in his rookie season. Then he only played 10 games in his second season, got sent down to Utica. Then he played 75 last year and then 70 this year. He was curtailed by an injury or two. So, but one thing about that year that he was in Utica 3 seasons ago, I remember, and you guys may have seen this, I was at an exhibition game before last season, so September 2017. And I actually sat in front of Jake Virtanen's parents at that game, met them, told them how, it was a kind of funny story actually. I just bought a Virtanen jersey, and as I was taking it out of my bag to show my friend, I heard a voice behind me say, "Hey, nice shirt." And it was Jake Virtanen's parents. So we had a really good chat throughout the entire game. And they told me that he had a wonderful year in Utica, despite what people might have thought. He had a great year learning under Travis Green, learning what it meant to be a pro. And at that time, they said that Darren Archibald was the one who really mentored him and taught him, took him under his wing kind of thing. So that was kind of good. And the parents were very excited about Virtanen, prior to last season. Last season, like I said, not bad, 20 points in 75 games, and improved that this year to 25 points in only 70 games. So what does he have to do to get more consistent? Well, he doesn't have to run around like crazy hitting everyone, but I think he's got to use his size more. You see guys like Furland and how they use their size and how they use their size to separate other players from the puck. I want him to scare opposing defensemen like Ryan Reeves does, although I want Virtanen to play a different game than Reeves. I want him to separate guys from the puck. I want him to, make even better decisions. I don't think he'll ever be at the level where he can play with Pettersson and Besser regularly, but I still think he can be a top six guy, a second line guy, or even a third line guy for sure. If he skates hard, if he uses his size, if he creates turnovers, especially along the boards, and if he's able to make good, crisp plays in the offensive zone. And that would mean more than just lugging it in and then putting a weak shot on net. That would mean skating more with the puck, looking more for passes. I would make a joke sometimes that sometimes the play kind of dies on Virtanen's stick, in that once you get it to him, you know it's either going to be a shot or him kind of circling around. We need him to go to the net. We need him to be more like a Horvat, like a Pearson, like a Levo. Those guys are not afraid to go to the front of the net, and they get rewarded with not sometimes garbage goals, but other times nice goals from the slot. Virtanen has such a sweet shot. He's got a wicked snapshot, actually. We've seen it, and a good wrister. Oftentimes he hits the post or shoots wide, but I think if Virtanen can be more consistent with his shot, also be a little bit more patient and more confident in the offensive zone, I think he can still be an impact player for the Vancouver Canucks. Defensively, he's okay. There's a couple gaffes that he made that were quite scrutinized in the media near the end of the season, and that comes with consistency as well. That comes with confidence as well. So we need Jake Virtanen to even more confidently use that combination of size and speed. He has it all there. He can be a really, really good player in this league. A solid player. He might not be a first-line player that we may have wanted him to be when we picked him 6 overall, but he can certainly be a contributor in the middle six. Middle six means second line or third line. I certainly think Jake Virtanen could do that. But because of his lack of consistency and because of, the ways where I think he can be better, I'm giving him a C+ for the season. Canucks fans, let me know what you think as I just remove one of these notifications here. Would love to read your comments. Leave it below. Do you think a C+ grade is fair for Virtanen? Do you think it's too high? Do you think it's too low? And tell me your reasons why. Leave a comment below. I love to read, react, and reply as always. Subscribe if you like this video, if you like to enjoy playoff hockey. Like I said, I have serious FOMO right now. And tomorrow I'll be looking at Josh Levo, a player that we acquired in December in a trade with the Toronto Maple Leafs. So tomorrow, grading Josh Levo. But for now, Jake Virtanen, leave a comment below. Have a great day. God bless. Go Canucks, go.